folks, and welcome back to Four Corners of the Galley. I'm your host, PBO, and you're joining me on another edition of Atlanta Robbin'Season. We're all the way up to episode 10. We got this one and one more to go, and we're at the end. Dang, I'm sad. But we're all the way up to FUBU. So, without further ado, let's roll right into FUBU. So, FUBU is a trip to the past. We get to go back in time, and we get to basically live a day in the life with Ern and Al in high school. And it looks like Ern is a freshman and Al is either a junior or a sophomore, who knows, but you know, it's definitely Ern is on the younger side. And we kind of get to see this great cultural differences, society, and this whole take on clothes and realism. And it's just an amazing episode that really digs deep into the cultural and social differences that we have in our society and how crazy it is we get over certain things that really don't even matter in the long run, but we hold them so high in regard. And when you're in high school, they're even more magnified because your world is so small and everything is enclosed that it really represents more than just what it means to you. It represents the whole personification that you have throughout those 4 years of high school. And this episode has it all tied into one little episode and one single day, all the angst and craziness and awkwardness of high school. And it's absolutely amazing. So let's kick this thing right off. So we get right. Oh, before I get there, this Saturday, Mr. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, with his alter ego, he hosted and performed SNL Go Support. It was fire. His two performances on music were fire. Opening monologue was great. His sketches, he had a couple ones that were fire. His the Kanye one was just absolutely amazing. I love his Lando in Space, and then he was just fire. Even the last one kind of gives a little shout out to Lakeith and his movie coming out this summer with the whole customer service thing. I really like that. He's fire. Dropped his new single, I Am America. Check that out, guys. I mean, this man's on fire. I hope he just keeps cruising, taking people down. Really mad about Deadpool, but as you can see, this multi-talented man just can't stop, and I can't wait to see what else he brings. So, all right, let's go. So we meet young Ern, who we don't know is Ern at this point, but it is young Ern, and he's out shopping with his mom. And as a kid raised by a single mom and knowing how to go out, obviously Ern's not a single mom, but I know how many times I got dragged to the mall or shops with my mom and her shopping for stuff, and me just stranded and stuck and pissed because I'm always there with her. He's bored out of his mind. He's complaining that he was at school all day. She's like, boy, I don't know what you're going to do when you get to the future, kind of foreshadowing the way he is and how he's kind of not knowing what he wants to do right now and trying to be a manager, but not really giving it his full effort with Al. So he kind of goes off and he stumbles across this FUBU jersey. And it's a FUBU jersey on a sales rack. And like all young kids, when you're hooked on something at this and you want it so badly, you see it and you gotta have it. So he takes it running to his mom and asks her, and she's not paying attention. First thing she said, better not be nothing crazy on it. I think that was the first thing I said to my mom. I mean, I'm a little older than what Ern is at this thing, but for me, it was cross colors back in the days. And here in LA, man, you had to have some cross colors. I think I got like a single pair of jeans and 2 shirts because they were just retarded expensive, but I begged for those cross colors. So same concept, different things. So you get Ern, and he gets the jersey. And then, so the next time, and she goes, you're going to work that off because, like, all moms, you ain't just not going to get nothing for free. So he don't care. He's so pumped because he's got this FUBU jersey, and he's so excited. So the next time we see him it's the next morning or the next day or some point where he's going to go to school, and the anticipation is killing him. He's already up before his alarm. You want to break out that fresh gear so badly that you wake up before your alarm goes off. Any other day in school, you're like, nope. You hit that snooze as many times as you can. So he's sitting there, the anticipation is getting to him. He has that great moment where he stares at the jersey. He's just hyped. He gets to the bus stop. He's the first on the bus. He's all pumped. He sits down. He sits next to his boy. First thing he says, "Hey, nice shirt." And then he's already pumped. So he's already feeling good. It's already doing what it's supposed to do. It's giving him that little credibility that he's looking for, making him feel good, and showing that he's just as cool as everybody else in school. So they have this great incident on the bus where some kid throws a yogurt out the window. It comes back around and hits another kid. Just the crazy shenanigans that go on the bus. I mean, I've seen every crazy thing under the sun when you're on a school bus being taken somewhere else. I mean, especially the longer the bus ride, the dumber kids get. So it's just a great moment. The kid gets socked up, like all awkward high school stuff. So he gets to school, and you get this class, and you got, in the class, they're showing you this great range of different characters that are out. You got the nerds and the girls and the cool kids, and Ern walks in. He's got his jersey on. He's looking all fresh, and of course the dudes are all calling him out like, "Woo, look at you, man!" And that's all you want. You just want to be recognized for the fresh gear you got, trying to be cool, trying to be like everybody else, and they're all kind of jocking and like, "Man, I want to get one of these. My desk, I gotta wait." And everything is great. So Ern's in a great mood. Even a young lady comes in, compliments him, and so he's got a giant smile on his face. He's pumped. He can't believe it. And then, of all the worst things that happen, the dude sitting next to him wears the exact same jersey, but with slight differences. And this is where it really just kicks into another gear. So now we got the whole fake and real. So I know this is big and rampant, but I remember big in the 90s when things got hot, like Cross Colors and Tommy Hilfiger and Polo and Karl Kani and Nautica, and when all that, and people started wearing knockoffs or just funky stuff and fake stuff, and then Guess and Donna Karan and Versace and all that stuff they used to rap about. I remember the knockoffs got crazy, and then, man, if you got caught with fake clothes, you were just a chump. Like, why even do that? Like, don't even put the effort in trying to be fly with the gear if it's gonna be a cheap ripoff. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's something about it. It's programmed in the DNA, and it makes people different. So they start calling him out and talking about the differences. The younger dude that's next to him named Devin, he's actually got a patch on it, which, is a big indication that it's real. He's got a patch, and it's got one less stripe. And I always remember going to the swap meets when I was a kid. You would see those Adidas with 4 stripes, or the Nikes that didn't say Nike, or they didn't have Air. It would just say Air or no Nike. So that's the similarities and the differences. So they're trying to figure it out. They can't tell. And they're like, what about Johnny? Oh, I didn't see Johnny. So I guess there's some kid who's an expert at clothes or knows something, and we're going to meet him later. So already you got Ern nervous because he's got dudes calling him his jersey's fake, and so now he's got this other guy next to him who's got the exact same jersey, but there's differences. So now this starts this like whirlwind adventure, and it comes to this first scene that you get with Ern and his white friend that is so funny and just shows such the divide in the cultures that it's so crazy. So he comes out after the class and he's freaking out. He's like, "Man, me and Devin wearing the same jersey." He goes, "So?" He goes, "Yours look fine to me." He's like, "Yeah, but one of us is fake, and I don't know which one." He goes, "Is yours fake?" He's like, "I don't think mine is real. I don't think so." He's like, "All right, well, it doesn't look anything wrong to me." He's like, "Man, I don't want to end up like I think I forgot his Ronald, or I don't remember his name." And he goes, "Who's that?" And he goes, "Ronald Jones." He goes, "Who's that?" He goes, Doodoo Jones." He goes, "Oh yeah, I know Doodoo." So right there, it just shows some dumb thing you do one day in school, you get a crazy nickname, and it sticks with you forever. I remember the first time I watched The Wire, in the first episode, they talk about this dude named Snot that gets killed. And they're like, "Why you guys call him Snot?" It's like, it be like that sometimes. You hanging around him, he had Snot one day, and he got that name for life. That's just the way it works. So Ern's trying to not be called either Fake Ern or Phoebe or whatever the heck they'll come up with for this dude. So he's like, "Hey, it looks fine to me." He's like, "Nah, you can understand. I can't be fake." And the kid's like, "I don't understand." He's like, "I've worn this shirt twice this week." And it just shows just the huge cultural differences. I, for me, am one of those kids that wants to try to look fresh every day and always try to look matching to the head to toe. I admit, I'm number one when it comes to that thing. I always want to look clean and matching all the time, and I'm one of the biggest victims. And then there's people in this world who have zero cares about what shirt they're wearing, pants, as long as it's clothes and they feel comfortable and they go out, they just don't care. And there's a lot of people like that in the world, but it also shows the huge differences between, honestly, black culture and white culture, and how this white kid just really didn't care, who's in Atlanta, same place, and he's like, "I'm wearing the same shirt twice in a week." He doesn't understand. While Ern's wearing a yellow jersey, looks fine. What it matters if it's fake or real. So that's just a great society moment and all, and just putting the magnifying glass and showing it in a light with kids and how they have to go through in the everyday struggles of high school. It's just a phenomenal job. So then we get to meet Al. And Al is in the principal's office, of course. We should already know it. And we get to see the young hustler in Al. And Al is already a hustler at this point. So he's in ROTC. So obviously he's either been bad because you're bad when you get put into ROTC, or you want to be in the Army. And I doubt he wanted to be in the Army, so he was bad and put in that program to keep himself in line. And the principal asked him right off the back, "Al, you know why you're here? Alfred, you know why you're here? Racism." Already on point, ready to go, launched and loaded, starts just hitting shots right off the back. He goes, "No." He goes, "Yeah, it's racism." There's a lot of racist people in school. He goes, "No, you're in here for selling things on campus." And he's like, what are you talking about? And the little kid next to him is like, yeah, you stole my calculator, I engraved on it, and then I bought it back from you. So the little kid already admitted that he did get his calculator stolen, but then he went and bought it back from Al, and it was the same one. So he's actually technically in charge, and Al takes that and just flips it on its head. He's like, and then the principal goes, we shouldn't be selling things. Well, he goes, well, technically, both of us are in trouble because he bought it from me and he shouldn't be buying stuff. And he completely has the principal in a corner. The principal knows he can't get one in trouble without the other. So he just tells Al to go back to class. He's like, I need a note. He writes him a note. The other kid's just like in complete shock. He can't believe it because Al is working the system. The first thing he gets out, we got some snitches in here. The principal snaps out. Albert, you better get to class. That's just a great line. Just showing the straight hustler at Al. So it kicks back to Ern, and now Ern's scared because he knows he's scared. He's got the hoodie. He's going to lunch, and they go to lunch, and no, I'm sorry, he doesn't go to lunch. He's nervous because he doesn't know if it's real or not. So we get to lab class, and he's in lab class, and he's doing lab, and he's perfectly fine. Devin's across from him. And he starts getting notes passed back and forth from a girl. And then asks, do you like Erica? And Erica, I guess, is the girl in gray that said, your jersey looked nice. And then the note says, is your jersey fake? And he wrote back, no. And then it wrote, well, something like, I hope it's not fake because Erica doesn't like broadcasters. I was like, damn. So he's freaking out. At the same time, he's working with his lab partner. She notices a thread coming loose on his jersey. So she goes, there's a thread. He goes, huh? And he goes to pull the thread, and whoom, he pulls the thread, and instantly a hole pops open. He freaks out. Devin across the way sees it and just kind of gives him that smile like, yeah, you caught. But Devin can't really, I don't think he saw anything. So he freaks out and he gets out of there. Now he's got a hoodie on and he's walking nervously, and two kids come straight up to him and start picking on him. They messing with him, clowning on him. They just mess with him. They call him Phoebe, the whole deal. This is just high school in a nutshell, just showing that kids will go on after the littlest thing because their insecurities are just as big, and they don't want anybody pointing the finger at themselves or anything that's wrong with them or anything of that nature. So they're all going to gang up on the one thing that they all know about and pick on the other kids. So he freaks out and he sneaks back in, and they go to lunch, and he's nervous the whole time, and he's sitting with his buddies, and he's like, well, we don't know what jersey's real or not. And he knows his is fake at this point because he's got a big hole in it. And he's like, well, Johnny's not here. And he's like, oh, Johnny showed up. And he's like, oh, man, you can just see he's nervous. Because now the kid that guess is going to know is in town, and he's really nervous about what could happen. So he's freaking out at this point. And he stumbles across Al. And Al is actually stealing from lockers. He's looking for open lockers and stealing stuff. He comes across a Rush Hour CD. But this is a great moment. Al schools her. He's like, look, man. He's like, they start talking. Well, first off, they start talking. He's like, you gotta help me out. He's like, me and Devin are wearing the same jersey, and one of us got a fake one on. And the best line, Al's like, that's you. Like the story had already broke through the entire high school about two kids. One's got a fake jersey and one doesn't, and how they're one, we don't know which one it is, and they're messing with him. And now it's throughout the school, and Al even knows, he just doesn't know which one is which. So he's trying to school him. He's like, look, man. He's like, it's all about confidence. He's trying to school him. He's like, don't let anyone push you. You just got to speak with confidence and be like, and tell them that this is real. He's like, I'm not cool like you. He's like, you just got to be confident. And I just love how Al, even at this time, is protecting over Ern and watching over him and making sure Ern don't get messed with, and trying to school him to the whole game. Like, look, man, you just got to be confident. Don't let him push you around or anything. So at this point, Ern's scared. He's scared. He's watching the clock. He's trying to get out of class. He's about to book it. He starts running at 3. He's trying to get back to the bus, and the kids grab him. They grab him. They pull him over, and this is Johnny. And I guess Johnny is an Asian kid. And Johnny, I guess, is probably the one Asian kid in the entire school. So they're asking him, and he starts checking tags, and he sees that Devin's one is made in China, which is the proper one, and the other one is made in Bangladesh. And obviously that's wrong. That's in India. So he's like, oh, this one's made in Bangladesh. This is fake. So Ern is now defeated, and he knows it's over, and he's just dreading what's going to happen to him. And out of nowhere, Al pops up, Emperor saves them and comes in and saves them and kind of like schools them both and just completely flips the script on them. And that's all it takes. It's just perception. In high school, it's all about perception. The perception that you give and the personification that you give off on yourself, people are going to believe that's you. So Al comes in so confident, tells him, man, and completely flips on him and says that kid's Chinese and that's why he would say that. They instantly believe it because they don't know any better. None of them know anything. So they're instantly just believing who just sounds the most confident, and the perception that this person gives just sounds so right that they're 100% with them. It's a great role reversal and just flipping of it. I just thought that was amazing. And then they start counting on Dev, and you can just see in Ernst's face, he's at peace, but he's still not confident. So he keeps running back to the bus. He's freaking out trying to get there. He's sort of hurry. He's almost there. And boom, out of nowhere, Erica pops up. And now he's like, oh. And she must have heard news that Devin had. It must have got down fast that Devin had the fake one. So she gives him his number, and he's completely feeling great, but it's still too much for him. He jumps on the bus. His boy sees him. He goes, man, I can't believe Devin tried to lie. And don't worry about them 12th graders going in. And you see the ridicule and the bullying this kid gets just because he has a fake jersey. It just shows that everybody else doesn't want anybody pointing at themselves. So they all just gang up on the one thing that they know is completely wrong, or they think that is completely wrong, and they're just completely bullying this kid, throwing stuff at him, chasing him all the way back to his bus. This kid's done nothing wrong. He even says, I got all the Jordans, man. You know me. Ernst the broke one. Like, this kid did nothing wrong. So it kicks back to the next day, and Ernst's at school, and he's there in class again, and the principal rolls in, and you find out that Devin committed suicide, and it completely just shows the bullying and the stuff, and you just don't know where kids are. And they basically talk about how his parents are going through a divorce, and it was really hard on him, and this really just pushed him over the edge. Basically, this kid was already having a tumultuous time, and he was going about his days, and then out of nowhere, he does nothing wrong, and because of just some things that were said, he ends up being the fake FUBU jersey kid, and he can't handle it and commits suicide. And it just shows the bigger problem in America on how we put so much emphasis on things that don't matter, and that young lives are lost over things that don't change anything, over real and fake clothes. I get it. It's something in our minds that we make great, but in reality, it doesn't make a difference. They're still clothes. So just a great overall social view on the whole thing and how we try to focus on it. And then after that point, I mean, you even have a kid in the class laugh at the whole deal. He just kind of thinks it's so funny when it's such a serious subject. It even gets magnified even more in kind of an irony way, in a way where Ern goes back home, and he goes home, and his mom and his auntie are there, and you see Al's mom for the first time, and I guess they're sisters. So this is, you get to know that they're sisters. So they're sitting there talking, and they're talking to Ern, asking how his day was, and he goes, oh, it was okay. And, I heard about a boy, committed suicide. Don't let anybody pick on you. And she starts going to the whole bullying. She goes, oh, and your piano lessons start. She goes, yes. And he goes, I know. He goes, well, you need to wear a suit. He's like, why I gotta wear a suit? And this is the whole crazy thing. And she goes, well, you gotta look right. She's like, a black man in America's got to be represented correctly. And it's such a true statement. He wants to be represented right. And she's talking about how clothes represent the man, and how the kids are fighting and struggling with the whole same deal at school about real and fake. And it's just wild, just the whole irony and things that match together. I mean, just a craziness. And she's like talking about wearing a suit, and the aunt and the mom are agreeing, and he's like, all right, and he just kind of agrees to it. And he starts walking to his room, and she goes, oh, by the way, I got you another FUBU jersey. And he just kind of looks over, and he's like, oh, boy, because obviously he showed his mom that he likes something, and she's trying to do good by him, and it's a fake jersey. She knows no idea, and he had this whole ordeal with it, and he's just like, wow. He couldn't believe that and you're not going to say nothing about it. You're just going, thanks, Mommy, because if you ever say nothing bad to your mom about getting you something, you'll never get anything ever again. He just kind of goes over to Paperboy, Al, and they just sit down and kind of look at each other and just, like, life is like that sometimes. I mean, wow. Just a great, deep social issue on everything in life episode. I mean, this thing was phenomenal. I just must say it was absolutely phenomenal. And with his whole ordeal and the song he put out and this whole message he's been putting on SNL, I just think he's just moving everything forward. And I love everything that Donald Glover's putting out right now. I mean, he directed this episode. This is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So, whew. There you go, folks. Episode 10 of Robbin'Season. Man, that was a great one. Cannot wait for the finale. Looks like we're going to have a great fun and maybe something setting up for the next season, hopefully, that will be coming good. And can't wait to see what more is coming. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me on this episode of Atlanta Robbin' Season. Until next time, guys. Good night, Ted.